this status quo. You see, their allegiance is to the way that things are. Their allegiance is to business as usual. Their allegiance is to the National Rifle Association. Their allegiance is to the Tennessee Firearms Association. When we went to the well of the House, myself, Representative Johnson, and Representative Jones, what we did was say we have an allegiance to a people. People who are tired of business as usual. People who are tired of same old politics. People who are tired of same old politicians. We have an allegiance to who are willing to march for justice. Fight for justice. To vote for justice. In that spirit, which I will head back to Nashville with. Shown here in Shelby County. What we have shown here in Memphis, Tennessee, with my fiance, my brothers, my family, my parents, my family here, is that we do not speak alone. We speak together. We fight together. So the message for all the people in Nashville who decided to expel us: you can't expel hope.
In the second upset in only a few days, county commissioners in Memphis, Tennessee have just voted unanimously 7-0 to send expelled Tennessee legislator Justin Pearson, a Democrat, back to the Tennessee State House. Pearson will now technically serve as an interim representative until an election is held to permanently fill the seat, where it's expected that Pearson himself will run and almost assuredly win. His expulsion came at the hands of his Republican colleagues, who couldn't accept the fact that Pearson, along with his colleagues Justin Jones and Gloria Johnson, also Democrats, would stand alongside young people in Tennessee protesting the inaction of Republicans in the face of students getting slaughtered by guns in school, because God forbid kids not want to die. The appointment came only days after the Nashville Council also voted unanimously, 36-0, to reinstate Justin Jones to the Tennessee House of Representatives. Jones is also serving as an interim representative until a special election is held to permanently fill that seat, where, again, it's broadly expected to see Jones himself run. And of course, the final Democrat who Republicans set their sights on was Gloria Johnson, who avoided expulsion by one single vote. And the only difference between her and the other two was it her qualifications, her marital status, her legislative priorities. I guess we'll never know. Now, I just want to be clear about what Tennessee Republicans managed to do here. They hold majorities in every branch of government. They can do whatever they want. But they decided to expel two democratically elected lawmakers, not just because they were black, but certainly because they were black, but also because those people dared oppose the GOP's position on guns. And so they decided that democracy wouldn't apply to them. And now, both of those legislators are back in the Tennessee State House. Both Jones and Pearson have national profiles. They've got the backing of national Democrats, and they're raising money at national levels. The eyes of the nation are now trained intensely on Tennessee Republicans' abject extremism. And because of that pressure, the governor of Tennessee was even forced to pass an executive order strengthening background checks for gun purchases. He also called for the legislature, which is controlled by Republicans, to pass red flag laws in the state. If you can point how any of that is a win for Republicans, how their entire strategy didn't just blow up in their faces in spectacular fashion, I'm all ears. And that was a point, by the way, that Justin Jones very eloquently pointed out here.
There is a movement rising up in Tennessee from Memphis to Nashville to Knoxville to send a message to these anti-democratic forces that you're in the find out portion. You're in the find out portion. That you shut off our microphones and so we had to bring a megaphone. That you pushed our people to the back so we had to walk up to the front of the well. And so we have a clear message that our brother Pierce is going to join us. We know, I'm confident, because I know that after crucifixion comes resurrection. And so when we walk in that chamber on tomorrow as representatives again, we must continue the demands that led us there in the first place. That a week after a mass shooting hit Nashville, rather than pass common sense gun laws, they passed a resolution to expel the two youngest black members in the General Assembly. And so we walk in there tomorrow with a clear message that we have a demand of Cameron Sexton to resign.
I'll tell you what, if I was a Republican and it became clear that I just handed a guy that talented the country's biggest megaphone, I'd feel pretty fucking stupid. And I've mentioned this before, but it's worth repeating. What's amazing is watching the speed with which Republicans act when they want to do something. Expel some black legislators who dare speak out against them, give them 1 day. But do something, anything about gun violence as little kids are getting slaughtered in their classrooms, well, you see, it's not that simple, but it's not so much a gun problem as it is a mental health problem, and a doors problem, and a godlessness problem, and whatever else we can think of to distract from the obvious culprit here, the guns. It is the guns. We are the only nation on the face of the earth with this many guns, almost half of the world's guns, and also the only nation with this many mass shootings. You don't have to be a fucking mathematician to figure out the link here. It is the guns. And anyone who tries to convince you otherwise is actually ensuring that this happens again, because if you see a problem and you block the solution, you become part of the problem. And that's the point here. When it comes to these Republican legislators, whether in Tennessee or any other state or even the federal government, the simple, obvious fact is that they don't want this problem to be solved. They are concerned with one thing: keeping those checks cashed. And guess what? It's not school children who are writing those checks, it's the gun lobby. And because those politicians stand for nothing but their own grip on power, and the gun lobby helps them cement that grip on power, then the only way to get any change is to vote these people out. That's it. We're never going to be able to shame them into passing large-scale, meaningful reform, and certainly not at scale. There is one way to curb gun violence, and that is to pass legislation. Assault weapons bans, universal background checks, red flag laws. We need legislation to solve these problems, and that will not happen so long as Republicans are in office. So if you're a low-propensity voting Democrat, if you're an independent, if you're a Republican who values the lives of children above the proliferation of guns on our streets, then put the partisan allegiances aside and put people in power who are not wholly owned by the NRA. That's the one and only solution. I don't know how many more ways that Republicans can tell us that they are not willing to do anything to stop these shootings. They will never put people above guns. So if we want the gun violence to stop, we need to put people in power who are not there to defer to the guns. So look, I'm not so naive to think that Tennessee is going to flip overnight into some liberal bastion because of this, but I do hope that this has woken up an entire generation of people, of young people, of black people, of independents, of pro-democracy Republicans, and shown them what's at stake when the party in power no longer respects the rules of a democracy. And while we might not flip a state, maybe that means we flip a congressional district, which may very well mean the difference between a Speaker McCarthy and a Speaker Jeffries. That is why we run everywhere, that is why we fight everywhere. And if the situation in Tennessee has shown us anything, it's that this is a fight worth having, because this is a fight we're going to win. Before you go, a quick announcement. I've started a Spanish YouTube channel. Democrats desperately need to be able to appeal to Spanish-speaking audiences, so this is me doing my part. To help that channel get going in the algorithm so that we can finally start spreading our progressive message and breaking the conservative stranglehold on Spanish-speaking media, please subscribe and watch a few videos. The link to that channel, called Brian Tyler Cohen Espanol, is right here on this screen. And of course, to see more of my content in English, make sure to subscribe to this channel as well. The link is also right here on this screen. Thanks so much for watching.